Hi there everyone, welcome to Alchemy. In this video we bring you the July forecast for Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising sign. If you'd like to know how this month's gonna go, carry on with us. So this is the spread we have for Cancer. For those of you who have Cancer as a sun sign, who have moon sign or rising sign Cancer. If you have any doubts regarding what's your rising sign, I'm going to leave you with a video that, although it's in Portuguese, it's fairly easy to understand, where I teach you how to make your own natal chart online for free, okay? In there you can... And there I'll also teach you how to immediately identify your rising sign and your moon sign. It's super easy, super intuitive, and it's a very easy video to follow. All you need is just your birthplace and your birth time, as precise as possible, okay? So, without further ado, let's go into the spread. For those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell to know when we have new videos here on the channel. Leave us a like or a comment if you have anything to say, and we will be more than happy to answer you in case you have any doubts that we can help you with. Okay, so energy of the month for Cancer, the Tower with the 8 of Swords. What do we have here? The card of the Tower is usually what I call the self-fulfilling prophecies kind of card. Because this card is change. It's a change that is sudden, swift, but you already knew this was coming. You already knew this had to happen. You just didn't have the guts to do it yourself, and you didn't want to be bothered with it because you were afraid of the outcome. And the universe just got completely fed up with it and said, hey, you won't do it, we're gonna do it for you. One example would be someone who has a job, who's working, but is always fed up with that, doesn't want to be there anymore, it's just there because it pays the bills, and they start slacking because they say, why am I gonna bother if they're gonna sack me anytime soon? I'm gonna be fired. I don't care about this job. I don't like this. Why should I? You put your best foot forward, but even so, I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed. I'm just spent. But you're still there. You're still doing your stuff, but with less and less quality. Even though it's the best you can do, but it's with less and less quality, according to what would be necessary to do the job. And one day, lo and behold, you are sacked. You are fired. You were counting on it. But you just didn't expect for it to happen that way, okay? Because you didn't seek nothing different. You didn't seek, because you didn't seek something different because the economy, then because your age, then because it was going to be hard to find another place. And then all of a sudden, you're just fired, you know? So that's the card of the Tower. And all of a sudden your life is completely turned upside down because your only source of livelihood and money is gone, and you're going to have to deal with it. And no matter how old or how at odds with the market, because your skills are not adapted to the market and you have to study again or whatever you are going to have to do something. Okay, something has to change. So the universe just took care of it for you. Do you like it? I don't think so. Do you have to deal with it? Yes, you do. So this is the card of the Tower. In summed up, this is what it is. So something that you've been delaying, denying, just procrastinating on, just not dealing with, is bound to happen, is bound to just be swept away from your life. The good thing is you're coming with the 8 of Swords, which means you feel right now, during the month of July, you're going to feel trapped. as if you didn't have a choice, as if you couldn't do anything properly, because everything is a risk. Every action is a risk. But if you look at the card properly, you see that the lady in here is trapped by spider webs, so something that she can easily break, and her eyes are blindfolded, but her hands and her feet are unbound. She can take the blindfold away, see where the swords are, and get out of here, because there is plenty of room between the swords for her to get out of completely unscathed. The feet are unbound, so she can indeed get out of there by her own foot. She's not bound by anything. She just feels like she is. But she needs to take that blindfold off and look at things the way they are properly. So that's the point here. With the card of the Tower, something is going to break. Something is going to give in any area of your life. Specifically in those areas where you already know that stuff should be happening, but you don't have the guts to do it yourself. The universe is going to go with it. I would say especially around your family life and your social life, because during this month we had on the 2nd of July an eclipse, the first of a series of eclipses that are going to happen in the axis Cancer Capricorn, and Cancer Capricorn, those are opposing and complementary signs. Because Cancer is the home, family home, your inner child, your inner memories. You as a part of a family and whatever that family gave you, okay? And then the Capricorn sign is a representation of the social life. How you're seen out there, what's your performance in your society, what do you have to give to society, okay? What's your job and how does that job help society somehow? Okay, so those areas are going to be shaken a lot during this year, okay, from now up until 2020. So you still have a whole year to develop on these themes, but starting from now, this is going to be quite a month. Because since this was the first eclipse and it was a solar eclipse, there's a lot of stuff that is going to come up. There is a lot of stuff that was just... Your conscious side didn't want to go there, but your conscious side was covered. The sun was covered. It was a sun eclipse. So the sun was covered, and now you're going to have to deal with it, whether you like it or not. Your moon sign, your moon side, your unconscious side is going to come out and bring those stuff that you didn't want to deal with and rub it right in your face. So it's going to be a tricky month. Yes, it is. It's going to be a tricky year. Yes, it is. But for this month, especially because it was the first impact and because stuff is going to start changing, I would say at quite a fast pace, because the card of the Tower is not a slow card. You are having the first impact with this, and all of a sudden you're feeling like, whoa, what's happening around me? Everything's a risk. Everything that I knew of seems to be weird. What am I gonna do? Okay, so that's the feeling that you have for this month. But be sure that if you have the ability to take that blindfold away from your eyes, if you have the ability to look at stuff from a straight point of view, from the realistic point of view, because the card of the Eight of Swords is a very realistic card. It is a realistic card once you take the blindfold. The problem is for you to get there, okay? But the idea is for you to take the blindfold, look at stuff properly, and then wait for your time so that you know when to get out of that circle of swords unscattered, unhindered, unharmed. That's the point, because you can do so. You just feel trapped right now, but you are going to be able to see the way out. Right now, it doesn't feel like it, but you are going to be able to feel the way out, to feel and see the way out. But right now, it's going to be a month that's going to demand a lot of clarity from you to deal with this Tower, because we have as the obstacle of the month, the Magician. The Magician coming with the Queen of Coins. So, the Magician usually represents creativity, magic, the ability to materialize, because the magician picks up all four elements and turns it into something tangible, something real, something that you can touch, that you can feel, that you can use, okay? He uses the elements to create something, okay? So it's the epitome of creativity, of work, of materialization. And coming with the Queen of Coins, you also have here another energy of materialization, because coins is the earth element. So it's palpable. It's something that you can touch, that you can interact with, that you can materialize, okay? So your difficulty this month is going to be creative, to be able to materialize stuff, to be able to, when your foundations are all being shaken, deal with it and still build on it, okay? Still interact from a creative point of view, still interact from a place where you can have confidence, where you can feel authority, like where you can feel in control, okay? So you may even feel like you're lacking some of the skills that you usually have or that you need to make things come true, but you have them all. This is the challenge of the month, because it's hard for you to recognize this. It's hard for you to assimilate this, okay, to comprehend and to use it, because the challenge of the month is usually the answer towards the energy of the month. It's just what's difficult for you to do during this month, because it's going to be what stops you from dealing with the energy of the month in the best way. So the Magician is here to tell you that creativity may be the solution for all of this. You are just going to struggle to feel creative, struggle to feel able to materialize, okay? That part's going to be a struggle for you, because everything is going to be shaking all around you. But nevertheless, this is, of course, a possibility. This is, of course, the key for this. As long as you can embody this Magician, embody this ability to see the creative point of view around you, the creative idea, the creative possibility, this tower will not be much of a problem. But being creative, being able to materialize, being able to create, being able to act is going to be tricky for you this month, okay? Let's see about your love life. About your love life, you have the World and the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is an amazing card, because it's a card that talks about beginnings, and since it is cups talking about emotions, and we are looking at your love life, I would say that if you're seeking someone, if you are alone and seeking someone, yes, this month would be a great month for you to begin a relationship with someone, no doubt about it. With the World here, the World's a card that usually talks about traveling, about contacts with different countries, different cities, people from abroad, people with open minds, or other types of thought process different than yours. Also, it may be astral voyages, astral traveling. So the card of the World is also the end of a stage to begin another. This is the end for another beginning. So if you've been alone, this may be the end of a stage of loneliness. All right, this may be the end of a stage of loneliness where you are being prepared to receive something new, to receive a new love interest, to reinvigorate your love life with someone from abroad, or after you travel. Maybe you find some inner truths about yourself that you didn't want to look at while you go out and during a vacation, during some sort of meditation, for example, if you're not traveling this month, and you find some inner truth that helps you accept a new love into your life, okay? If you are in a relationship, this is a rekindling with the Ace of Cups. It's a new beginning, it's a rekindling, it's a an opportunity for something to become fresh and new again. And the card of the world, I would say that you'd benefit greatly if you traveled with your significant one, okay? Even if it's just for one day or two out of your comfort zone, out of your regular place, so that you just can bring a breath of fresh air into it. It also may be the case that you find some suggestions either online or in websites that are not from your native language or your country, where of stuff that you can do that can rekindle your love interest, that suggestions of stuff that you can do that can broaden your minds, the mind to the two of you, so that you can do something else, do something different, and begin a new stage in your relationship. I would even say that with this, if you're finishing one stage and beginning another, it may be the case that you are evolving in your relationship. Maybe you are going from a place where you were just girlfriend and boyfriend, and you're starting to prepare a wedding, or you're moving together, something like that. But whatever it is, it's the end of a stage to begin a new stage with a new fire, fire with the card of cups. It's not exactly what you would say, but you know what I mean. It's a new page, it's a new interest, it's a renewed strength to your love life, okay? So positive energy here in your love life. Then, about your money. Money for Cancer is going to be a touch subject this month, because we have the card of death with the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is a good card. Usually it's a card that talks about reminiscing. It's a card that talks about childhood. Maybe the case that you are feeling kind of nostalgic from a moment in life where you were feeling better regarding your money, where you had more money available. Any of those ideas may come to your mind. Also, it also talks about naivety. So it may be the case that you're being too naive with your money. The card of death talks about something that needs to be changed in your relationship with money. It may be that you need to change the way you look at money, how you see it, what money represents to you. Maybe the case that you need to see different ways of investing your money, of spending your money, anything like that might be the theme here. The card of death doesn't say that you're gonna have a lot of money. Most unfortunately, that's not at all the case. The card of death usually talks about cutting resources, okay? Because something has to go, something has to die, okay? So it may be the case that you may need to look at your money from a different point of view. You may not have exactly enough money, and you'll need to resort to practices that were from a long time ago to help you stretch this money. Also, you may need to look at how you invest. Maybe too naive in the way you invest, or you may be needing to be a little bit more playful with your money. This may also be it. Being playful with the money doesn't mean that you spend it without looking at what you spend and how. Being playful with your money is allowing the money to flow and for you to play a little bit with it. Play with investments. Buy stuff that you can turn into something else if you like to do that. If you like to do some DIYs and you feel like you can make a buck out of it, why not to try and buy something and do something that makes you happy with that money, with those materials, and put it for sale and see if you can bring some money back. Of course, this suggestion of the DIYs or anything of the sort, it's not something that will bring you a lot of money, but it's something where you can use the money that will make you feel playful and will make you feel happy about it, okay? but it's not something that will bring you a lot of money. So careful with it, because it's not a month where you're gonna have a lot of money available. Not at all. It's not a month where you're gonna have a lot of prosperity going around. So careful with how you spend it, where you spend it. See if there is anything you can cut out of your life. Any expenditures that are useless. For example, if you have any situations, say like a gym membership that you never use, go around for it, cut it off. Take that away from your bank account. Try to renegotiate something. Okay. Finish to pay off a credit if it's possible. Okay, that will put, if you can do so, it will put you in a position of less money, but next month you'll have more. So try to see what you can cut out of your life, so that in order to bring a little bit more prosperity to you. But this month is not a good month for expenses. Then we have your health, and your health comes with the Hanged Man, coming with the King of Cups. So the Hanging Man is a card of standstill. It's a card where supposedly nothing happens. So if you're in good health, supposedly it stays like that. If you are in a troubled position, well, again, it stays like that. The thing is, this card is also very associated with a lack of vitality, with you feeling worn down, a little bit depressed, melancholic, apathetic. With everything that's going on this month, it's quite normal for this to happen to you, okay? So, in your case, I would ask you to seek advice from a doctor, from a therapist, from an expert, especially someone who can deal with your emotions, because most of what's going on here comes from your emotions, comes from your emotional side, and you need to put some rationality into that. That's why it's a King of Cups. The King is the rational image in the Cups deck, because he represents the sort of energy that is emotional, but it's not completely in touch with the emotions, can put some rationality into it, okay? So that's the case. Try to process your emotions, try to seek some help, because you won't be able to do this alone. Seek some help. If, for example, you feel like you are depressed, like you are apathetic, like you are having problems with being able to do stuff, okay? Again, comes to this card of the Magician. That is the obstacle of the month. It may be the case that you need someone to help you through therapy or any other type of adequate help, to look at stuff from a different point of view, to look at your life, to look at what's going on around you from a different point of view, so that then you can move on, okay? Right now, try to look at your need to rest, not as wasting time, but as the need to prepare your body to perform later on. You need to rest so that you can do your best. So give your body time to heal. Look at stuff from a different point of view. For example, you can look at your exercise routine from a different point of view. If you don't exercise at all, it may be the case that you need to look at your body and your health from a different point of view and see, hey, maybe I need to start exercising, or looking at what you eat and how you eat, and look at that differently, okay? So any situation might contribute for you to feel low, or feel drowsy, or feel like you don't have energy. Maybe that you need to look at it from a different point of view, okay? Maybe exhausted from working so much and now you need to rest. Don't look at that as wasting time. Look at that as preparing your body to be able to perform again, okay? But in any of these cases, seek an expert, okay? Seek help. You will need it, because this help is the point where you can actually organize your ideas, organize your thoughts, and take the best out of this funky situation, okay? Out of this weird and kind of low situation. Let's see how your work goes for you. And with work, we have the card of the Pope, or the Faith, in this deck. and the Three of Swords. So, if you are seeking a job, it's a little bit unfortunate. I wouldn't say that you would find it this month, not at all. If you are seeking a job, you'll probably won't find it this month. I would say for you to turn to your guardian angels, turn to your guides, turn to your ascended masters, turn to your superior self, turn to your soul. Ask them whatever it is that you feel that connects you to the universe. Ask it for help. Ask it for guidance, for orientation, because with the Three of Swords, it might be you may be in for quite a disappointment. Okay, if you are seeking for a job, it may be the case that someone presents to you with an offer and you get there and you get out the next day because you feel like it's treacherous, because what they said doesn't correspond to what they're asking you to sign. It may be the case that you are feeling deceived regarding your job. If you are working and expecting to have a contract renewed, expect some sort of deceit. Okay, it may be the case that with the faith, with the Pope, usually you stay where you are, but they may make some changes to your contract that you only take notice later on if you don't pay attention. Either they change your pay, or they change your functions, or they change your schedule. Something is going to be changed in there. Something is going to feel like a treason to you. Okay, if you're seeking for the renewal of a contract, it may not happen. Maybe be promised to you and then it doesn't happen. If you are working and you're not at risk, you're not waiting for any renovation or anything, be careful, because something is working behind your back, and when you find it out, it's going to be quite a disappointment. Okay, but for those of you who are working, I believe that you may still be working. Okay, with the Three of Swords, it's never too certain. Okay, but something will change that will not be pleasant. It may be even the case that you need to turn to your guides to find a new job. Okay, because you're fired behind your back. You're fired without this being predictable. Okay, if you are seeking for a job, be careful with what they offer you. It may not correspond to the reality. Okay, ask for guidance to the light beings around you, your guardian angel, your ascended masters, anyone. Ask them for help, because otherwise it's going to be a tricky month. Okay, then for your spirituality, with your spirituality, we have the Hermit and the Knight of Swords. So the Hermit is a very wise man. It's a card that talks about wisdom. It's a card that also talks about isolation. It's a card that talks about finding your light and making it shine, letting your light shine to guide others. The Hermit usually is depicted with a lantern in his hand on top of a hill. So he is a light that is visible around him. He is on top of the hill. There's nothing blocking his light. All right. He is like a beacon, like a lighthouse. You see, for the world around him. But he achieved that light through being alone, through meditation, through isolation. So I would say, and with the Knight of Swords, this may be a little bit difficult, because the Knight of Swords always brings the little bit of a combat energy to it. Okay, so it may be that you need to be a little bit adamant about what you want. I would say that you need to seek some sort of spiritual connection alone. So meditation, quiet time, going into yourself, reading something that connects you with whatever it is that you're feeling. The Knight of Swords is usually something that needs bravery and strength and confidence, okay? So it may be the case that if you work with your spirituality within a congregation, if you work with your spiritual path within a group, it may be the case that you need to detach yourself from them a little bit, or from whatever they recognize, from whatever they see as their laws and their truths, okay? It's not cutting away, it's not a clean cut, okay? It may be just a challenging of ideas and then filtering it. You see what is real for you from what is being said in that congregation, what doesn't make sense anymore, and you need to be brave to admit that to yourself. If you work your spirituality alone, you may need to revise your beliefs, you may need to look at what still makes sense and what doesn't. You may need to do some conscious exam of yourself, your conduct, your life, and be brave enough to admit what you need to change in yourself and in your spiritual practices. So if you are alone, you may need to find a group. If you are in a group, you may need to be alone, but nevertheless, the process will have to be done with you alone. It's introspection, okay? It's meditation, it's quiet time, it's self-evaluation, okay? Everything that needs to be done alone, okay? In order for you to be able to then move on with your spiritual practice. Find something that makes sense in the middle of all of this. And with this happening this month, with this tower and this magician going on, with this destructive energy and this need to make something out of the chaos, the need for silence is adamant. Let's see what do the Ascended Masters have to tell you. And we have Manchushri, which is a Buddhist deity of wisdom that holds a sword to cut through illusions and bring about clarity and understanding. And he asks you to listen. You can hear your divine guidance best by quieting yourself and listening. Shut out noisy stimulation like telephones and television and relax in a quiet place. Don't try to make anything happen. Just listen to your own thoughts, breath, and the rhythm of your heart. Then mentally ask questions of your guides and angels. Listen to the loving truth that they speak in your heart, body, and mind. Listen to your own inner truths. Trust your intuition and take action accordingly. Additional meanings for this card may be: have a quiet retreat. Your guides and angels are talking to you. Are you listening? Less talking and more listening is called for right now. Admit your true feelings to yourself. Listen to what messages any aches or pains are trying to tell you. The body always talks to those who listen. So, as you can see here, this card couldn't be better for representing what came out here in your spiritual life. In case you might be wondering that I drew this card, that I took this card out of the deck on purpose, go to the Portuguese video. That's where I shuffle the cards and draw the cards from the deck. There you can see that it's completely random, so I don't have anything to do with that, okay? But in case you have any doubts, you can go to the Portuguese version of this video and see the shuffling. And we have here from the Isis Oracle, the Eye of Horus, that talks about awakening divine perception. So it comes again in the same line of this one. The Eye of Horus brings divine perception, protection, and insight. You are gifted with certain spiritual abilities, including divine sight, that are awakening and growing now. You have much divine support and protection so that you may grow your abilities and serve others with your divine gifts. Trust your perception and know that you are divinely protected. The Oracle of the Eye of Horus is stamped of divine encouragement, approval, and protection. If you have been wondering about your divine path, about whether you have genuine gifts of healing and insight to share, about whether your inner perception is actually the true insight, and whether you will be protected spiritually in certain matters or situations, then this oracle is confirmation for you. You also have guidance here that your inner sight is expanding yet again, taking a turn on a higher twist of the spiral of perception. These are the gifts of higher clairvoyance, pure knowing, divination, and divine communion, and they all flow in truth from the fountain of the heart. You can expect these gifts to grow, and as a result, to see with even more detachment, accuracy, and clear knowing. It is important that you trust this inner sight and come from your heart. This will ensure that your sight is accurate and helpful. Inner sight will never judge or harm another, but it will certainly help you discern the underlying truth of the situations and relationships so that you can make wise decisions. So this is an amazing card telling you about the gifts that you may need to develop, telling you that the guides are there with you to help you, to guide you, to help you remove this blindfold from your eyes so that you can guide yourself in the middle of the chaos. Okay, so be sure that you have a very interesting month ahead of you, that you are blessed and protected. I hope that this spread helped you, that it gave you some insights and some food for thought. Okay, and I hope to see you again in the next video. See you soon. Bye.